Namaste. Welcome to the Yoga Sutra, portion on practice number 9, which says, clinging to life, flowing by its own potency due to past experiences, exists even in the wise. In the translation of this line, it says that the next obstacle is the clinging to life, which is called abhinivesa. Here we come to get a clue to the nature of rebirth also. Many Westerners don't believe in reincarnation. They feel, quote, it's all over once we die, unquote. But the yoga philosophy reminds us that all of our knowledge comes through experience. Without experience, we cannot understand or learn anything. Even books can only remind us of something we have experienced in the past. They help us kindle a fire that is already in us. That fire must be there first for the kindling stick to kindle it. For example, have you ever experienced a sapodilla fruit? It is abundant in Bombay in certain seasons and is very soft and tasty. But even if I spend 3 hours explaining a sapodilla fruit and how it tastes, you are not going to understand it because you have never experienced it. Knowledge comes only through experience. If you allow a baby to crawl on the tabletop, as it comes to the edge and is about to fall, it will yell, "Why? Out of fear of falling and dying?" How can fear of death come into the mind of a baby? He can only fear death if he has died before. Some might say, that's just instinct. But what does instinct mean? Yoga says instinct is a trace of an old experience that has been repeated many times, and the impressions have sunk down to the bottom of the mental lake. Although they go down, they aren't completely erased. Don't think you ever forget anything. All experiences are stored in the chittam, and when the proper atmosphere is created, they come to the surface again. When we do something several times in forms of a habit, continue with that habit for a long time and it becomes our character. Continue with that character and eventually, perhaps in another life, it comes up as an instinct. Many of you might play the guitar. When you first learned, you might have been marked the notes right on the guitar to get the proper finger position. Each time you played, you checked to see which string should be manipulated. But after a few months, you become proficient and could even talk to someone and play at the same time without looking or thinking about it. How? Experience became habit, and eventually the habit became your character. Probably in another birth, you might easily pick up a guitar playing without much effort. Don't people say, "Oh, she's a born guitarist"? In the same way, all of our instincts were once experiences. That's why the fear of death exists. We have died hundreds and thousands of times. We know well the pang of death, and so, the moment we get into a body, we love it so much that we are afraid to leave it and go forward because we have a sentimental attachment to it. Some people have an old car, says a 43 Dodge. Even if you offer them the latest model Dodge, they wouldn't want it. You may even say, your car is no good anymore. You're blocking the road by driving it at 10 miles an hour when everybody else is going 55. You need to get a new one. The motor vehicles department may even take it away by force and throw it into a junkyard, but the owner will sit by it, crying and lamenting. Attachment to the body is like attachment to that car. God's government regulations say that if your old body is taken away by force, they must give you a new one. Many people do not know this and cling to the body even when it gets old and dilapidated. That constant clinging, breaking away, clinging away, breaking away is what we are morally afraid of death. It is another klisa, attachment, klisa, obstacle, based on the ignorance of our true nature. So all of these klesas, these obstacles, whether dormant, feeble, intercepted or sustained, should slowly be gotten rid of it. Only then we are ready to go further. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.